Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead discussion topic video for today leading up to Season 9. In this one, we're going to give our thoughts on whether or not we think killing Carl caused Andrew Lincoln to want to leave the series and leave the character of Rick behind. So it has been only 7 episodes of the Walking Dead television series since the departure of Chandler Riggs as Carl in terms of airing. Going into Season 9, of course, they're still working on filming the first half of the Walking Dead Season 9 right now, and we've just heard news from Collider that Andrew Lincoln is going to be leaving The Walking Dead, leaving the role of Rick behind. So it begs to question, what I'm seeing a lot in comments right now from you guys, is whether or not we think killing Carl actually caused Andrew Lincoln to decide to leave the series. Some of the comments from you guys, for example, we have Summer S here who says, "Hey Trev, Q&A, do you think Andrew Lincoln leaving has anything to do with the savage nature of firing or firing Chandler Riggs or killing off Carl?" Then I in the Dark 2 says, "Do you think firing Chandler and killing his character on the show played a part in Andrew's decision to leave? He seemed very upset about it." And if you guys don't remember, basically he has done some interviews where Andrew Lincoln has kind of answered how he felt when Scott Gimple had kind of called him and let him know what the news was, that they were going to be killing Carl off, and that's the direction they were going to take with the series. And he said he couldn't respond, and that Scott actually had to ask if he was still there because he couldn't say anything. He was just totally speechless. He never thought that they would do something like that. And it's a big one, right? It's a big phone call to get to hear that they're gonna be killing off your character's son in a series that you've dedicated your life to for close to a decade now, right? So it's a huge. Absolutely a huge death in the series, and one that we're definitely still feeling the ramifications of. Torridd here says, "Yes, Trev, I think Riggs' death has something to do with Lincoln's decision. However, I don't think management should ask actors for their opinions for issues like that. AMC had to make that decision." So I kind of disagree with you here with this one. I mean, I understand what you're saying. Like, Andrew Lincoln is not a writer on the series, right? It's not his job to have to come up with, he's portraying Rick. He's the one who's acting out Rick in the show. But I do think after that many years on the series and everything else, and how important Rick is to The Walking Dead and Rick is to the show, they probably should have asked him. I think this is just, again, I know they don't have to. I know, they could just say, "Well, you're not a writer, whatever. We don't need to ask his opinion. He's just talent, so you just get him to, act out whatever parts that he's given." And certainly with other deaths, throughout the series, you wouldn't have to ask, him if it's okay if they kill off somebody like, Beth or somebody like that. But for Carl, I think that you probably want to make sure he would be okay with it before you went ahead and did it. And again, these are all conversations that are held behind closed doors, so all we know is what's been said in interviews with Entertainment Weekly and other news outlets over time here for The Walking Dead. But personally, I have a hunch. I know the series has been going on for a long time, and so eventually he may have wanted to kind of leave anyway, and with Lauren Cohen possibly leaving her role as Maggie behind, maybe it just got him thinking. His contract was up for negotiations this year, and it would have been expensive to keep him on for sure for The Walking Dead. But I do think, really, when you think about it, maybe not being able to work with Chandler this year, having to shoot those scenes last season in Season 8 where he's saying goodbye to his TV series son. This is really hard stuff for an actor to have to act out these scenes and to get that, to go to those emotional places where we saw him go to in Season 8 and even prior to as well. It takes a lot out of somebody. It's going to be really difficult to do, and emotionally, that's just going to be something where it's going to be really tough to, I think, psychologically deal with that. And I know they're characters in a show, and it's not your actual son who's being killed in real life. But, nonetheless, they've spent almost a decade together. I'm sure he has been a fatherly figure on set for Chandler many, many times for many years as Chandler has grown up and everything like that. So my simple answer to this one is I think it had an effect. I think it was a factor in this decision from Andrew Lincoln to kind of want to leave at this time in Season 9. And, the bigger question is, did killing off Carl kill The Walking Dead as a whole? Like, did killing him killed the series. And if killing him did cause this kind of ripple effect, which had an effect on, Andrew Lincoln wanting to stay as Rick and maybe decided that, okay, it's time to move on. We had the Carl thing last year. This year, just kill me off or whatever, and I'll go do other projects because I'm just not feeling it anymore. I think that makes total sense. I think that absolutely makes total sense. And also, with killing Rick off this year, with Rick leaving, it really, I would say even more than ever, not having Carl there and having Rick being killed off really puts the show in a strange place, because it makes it so different from the comics, where in the comics you have both, right, that are still alive right now at current time. In the TV series, literally, you're going to have both of your characters there leaving, with Rick, you're being your all-time series lead, and then Carl always being thought of as the person to carry the torch after Rick. So I think if you wanted The Walking Dead to get to 15 seasons, what you always kind of wanted to do, or the presumed path would be, you would eventually kill Rick off, but Carl was sacred. Carl was always safe, because you always wanted to have that future with Carl, right? You always wanted him to be there so that he could be a pull for the series, because the audience had spent so much time with him. They'd literally grown up with him. And it's not so easy to just kill him off and then replace him with somebody like Henry and just say, okay, well, the audience is going to care about this Henry kid as much. They're not. It's not going to work that way. And, it's going to be really difficult to come back from killing off a major character like that. So to answer this video, and just to focus on this question, this video, because this is a big question, leave your comments below, guys. Let me know what you think. Do you think that when they killed Carl off, possibly maybe a switch or something just flipped, and Andrew Lincoln just decided that, you know what, this show has been really hard to do. I've spent a lot of time, a lot of years in this series. He probably always wanted Carl to be the one to kind of survive on past him and, carry the show after he was gone eventually. And maybe with them deciding to do that, he just decided, like, okay, I've been doing the show a long time. Eventually I was going to have to leave. And now that Carl's dead as well, too, it's like, well, it's just time to move on. I guess I'll move on, too, right? That kind of deal. So let me know what you guys think about this one. Do you think it played a factor in his decision to leave the series? Or do you think, no, not really? It's just mainly that he's been doing the show for so long. It's difficult for him to do. He's got to leave his family behind, come to the States, do all the filming for many, many months of the year. And, it's a big weight to carry on your shoulders to have to lead such a monumental TV series like this one. And it's just, he sees it as time to pursue maybe other opportunities, try other things that he hasn't been able to do because he's been on The Walking Dead. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment below. Did killing off Carl cause Rick to want to leave? Did killing off Carl, possibly even kill The Walking Dead? Leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think. If you like this video, please thumb it up below. You can share, you can favorite. If you're new and you want to subscribe to the channel, I would appreciate it. You can do it. You can subscribe at the bottom left. That's it for this one. I'll see you guys again soon for another video. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.